Today, I will be discussing and sharing my own opinion on a new server that TommyInnit made. This server is brand new, so you probably don't know much about it. So I will be talking about it today, give my own opinions, and answer the question, is this the new Dream SMP? By the way, make sure to like the video so that I know that you want to know more about the server. With that being said, let's get to it. Okay, so I'm going to start off by explaining to you guys what this server is. Basically, the server is a regular Minecraft server, except that you get abilities which you can choose when you first spawn into the server. So basically, it's a normal server, but with mods. Now, the thing is, when you choose your abilities when you actually spawn in, you can't change them later. So it is very important to pick the best ability at the start. And yeah, there are many different abilities. And for example, TommyInnit chose someone who can basically float or glide, but they are vegetarians. So this mod gives you advantages like abilities and also disadvantages like he has to be a vegetarian. And we know what he thinks about vegetarians. But yeah, this basically makes the server a bit more interesting than a regular Minecraft server because it adds things to the characters and yeah, in general just makes it more interesting. Okay, so now that you're up to speed, let's just start talking about the server and maybe the future of it. So it's clear that, you know, TommyInnit and Wilbur and everyone else really likes the server. They clearly enjoy it and they're gonna want to play every single week. Now the good thing about this server is that it's definitely gonna last a while because there is still a lot of things to do. You know, defeating the Ender Dragon, killing the Wither, all this other stuff. Because after all, it is a normal survival server, but they just have abilities. So it will definitely last a while. And this is obviously good because it gives us content and also it gives the creators content so they can put it out and make money, and I mean that's kind of what it is, which is an incentive to make good content, which I'm sure the server's going to be. The other thing is TommyInnit is in control now. Like in the start of his stream he like de-opt himself, so you can see that he has access to commands and that it's his server. So it's basically like the Tommy SMP now rather than Dream SMP, which is pretty cool. I like the idea of that because, you know, I feel like TommyInnit has a pretty cool idea for what he wants the server to be like. And since we're talking about, you know, this could be the Tommy SMP, let's talk a bit about the Dream SMP and what's going to happen to the Dream SMP if this one pops off and, you know, everyone switches to this new SMP. Well, obviously that would mean that Dream would probably go on the TommyInnit server, and also, you know, everyone would stop playing on the Dream SMP server since, you know, if Tommy's not on there, the storyline isn't really that good. Now don't get me wrong, I don't think that's going to happen, at least anytime soon, because there is a storyline going on right now. You know, TommyInnit has his hotel, Dream's in prison, there's still a lot of things going on in the Dream SMP, but I feel like when the story ends, it would kind of make sense to make a new server, which this could be, and I would be all for it because this looks very entertaining. But yeah, I made a video on, you know, when the Dream SMP might end and how it will end, and one of the reasons was that TommyInnit might get tired of it. And if he finds something that's even more fun than the Dream SMP, which is for example this server, you can understand that he might want to switch to it permanently. And since we're talking about the storyline and stuff and the Dream SMP, I just want to say what I've realized watching the stream yesterday was that there's kind of already a storyline in this server. Like for example, TommyInnit, Jack Manifold, and Niki are like the misfits of the server because they chose the worst abilities that were possible, and like Phil is like the best person because he's got like an elytra, things like that. It creates a storyline and it creates characters already. And we also saw like Tubbo found a disc, and when he told TommyInnit, he said wrong server. So maybe they have a storyline already planned, maybe? Although I think that right now they're just kind of testing it if people will enjoy it, and then later they might write a storyline and stuff like that. Because right now it's kind of just a TommyInnit type of vid. You know, they have a mod and then they just play with it, mess around, and then they never go on that mod again. But I feel like this could be a bit different. And speaking of it being like a TommyInnit YouTube video, TommyInnit also said yesterday that the YouTube boys, as he calls them, apparently should really like this idea, which I agree, because if you think about it, this is basically like a TommyInnit video but live, and that's pretty insane. Like he said before that he wants his streams to be a bit like the videos but obviously live, and he's only been able to do that with the Dream SMP now, or at least before, but now he's able to do it on his own server, and yeah, I think it's just better, at least for TommyInnit. The other reason why I think that this could be a long-term server is that they created the seed. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, it could just be like server lag or something like that, but there's a lot of chunk errors in the seed, which I kind of found funny. And I was just thinking to myself, like, they clearly like made the server. Like, no server randomly spawns like this. unless maybe they're on the cursed server. But yeah, I just think that because they chose a server, or the seed I mean, it kind of shows that they want to do something with it in the future, and they need a particular seed to do that thing. Also, because this is like an original idea, like I don't think I've ever seen this mod on YouTube. I mean, I'm sure it's been out there, but I don't think it's been out there as big as it is now, because I've never heard of it, for example, right? So because it's original, it will be very hard for other people to replicate it, which just makes this one even more unique than every other SMP. Like, we see SMPs like the Epic SMP with mods already in it, but this mod, like, it doesn't make Minecraft completely different. It kind of just adds abilities. And also, because it's so original, more people are interested, because no one really cares if it's just another Minecraft server. Like, if TommyInnit yesterday made his new server and it was just like a regular server, I don't think that many people would stay with that idea for a long time. So yeah, just because it's original, so loads of people are interested because they want to see what will happen next, because this is super interesting. This mod is super interesting in my opinion. Also, now this could just be a stupid like coincidence. Well, not really a coincidence, but I don't know how to explain this, but I feel like there's roleplay already in the server. I feel like yesterday, you know, TommyInnit and Jack Manifold, which are the people that I was watching yesterday, they were kind of just like messing about with like northern British accents, and it was quite funny. And they were clearly like role-playing, and yeah, it was kind of funny. And because roleplay is a big part of the Dream SMP server, if this was to be put into this server, then it would obviously be quite interesting as well. And since we're talking about the story, the abilities could add so much to the story. Like, as I said, they add a lot to the character. Like, TommyInnit right now is seen as this terrible person, like a chicken, for example, right? Because he's got the worst ability. I mean, like, he's literally, he can just float, and like, people make fun of him because he thought he can run really fast, but people can still beat him in a race and stuff. And yeah, it just adds a lot to the character. And I know that I've been using the word interesting a lot in this video, but it's just so interesting. It just makes the story a lot more interesting. I need a better word. Engaging. There we go. It makes it more engaging. As I said before, TommyInnit and Jack Manifold were like role playing, and that kind of led to them making a group, sort of. Like, they made a tower and they called it the pub and something like that. So yeah, I think that, you know how on Dream SMP there's like nations and there's like groups? I think there's already going to be a thing like that 100% in this server. At least there's going to be like allies, right? They're not all going to be friends, but they're also not all going to be enemies. There's going to be allies in groups, and yeah, I'm super excited for that. So I guess now we should answer the question, is this the Dream SMP? Well, we don't know. The truth is, we don't even know if it's going to be a server for long. It could just be that one stream, and maybe they just won't want to do anymore. We don't know. No one knows. Only they know. If they even know. They probably don't even know yet, because they still are trying to find out if we enjoy the series. And if you're watching this, TommyInnit or whoever, I am really enjoying it. I hope you guys continue it. And yeah, it would be very interesting. Because the truth is, like, we don't know even what it's called. Like, how we can't know if it's going to be continued or anything. Like, we don't even know what it's called. But yeah, I might make a follow-up video, so it would be very much appreciated if you contributed to this conversation. Hopefully you guys stick around this channel. You can do that by subscribing. It's free, and you can always unsubscribe. And yeah, I'll see you later, boys.